check. All right, how is the sound? Hello, Charlie. How are you doing tonight? Good to have you here, and have you guys here to help me solve another crime. Let me get my... Good. Yeah, I've been fiddling with some of the filters on my microphone to kind of reduce background noise and just make it sound a little bit better. Okay, there we go. Doing pretty good. Start of a long weekend. I cannot complain. That is for sure. All right. Okay. So the first one we have is, it's like a tutorial one, right? We just took a brief look at it last time. We didn't do anything with it, but we just took a look at what it was. Oh, long weekends are the best. The best. And my wife knows this, but like after the long weekend, I'm mentoring some a couple training groups. So I'm going to basically have 2 weeks where I get to sit there and just answer questions for employees off and on. It's super easy. I'm super excited. All right. Okay, situation. Okay. All right. So in review, everything that about this is all right here in this room. Just this. All of our clues. It's like a kind of an introductory tutorial for solving the case. So yeah, everything about this is just right here. So all the clues we have are in these files, these couple pieces of physical stuff. Physical, I guess, evidence, sorry, stuff. This file and then right here. So let's read what they said again real quick. The police have arrested a man they suspect to be about to rob a bank. They confiscated items found in the van. In the van, the man was standing by. The police were able to get the man to give up the names of his accomplices. It is suspected that the man and his accomplices might also be involved in the purse snatching of Helen Turner. However, all the police have are the items from the getaway van, which is, I assume, right here in the basket, the criminal records of the 3 men that were going to rob the bank, and the incident report right there from Helen Turner. Using what is available, can you answer these questions? Can you answer these questions asked in this case file? Okay, so the only questions we have are, ooh, so you can add multiple people to who was involved with it. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, so our 2 questions are, who was the getaway driver? And then who was involved in stealing Helen Turner's purse? Okay. And remember, we're on the like absolutely zero help. None. No help. They don't give us a list of clues we can get. Nothing at all. So, all right. So let's actually just look at this map really quick and see what is going on. So we have the van location. This is where I assume that they picked up the guy that they arrested right here. And this is where they got that, you know, those pieces of evidence from the van. Okay. Initial arrest. And there's the bank. There's an ATM. I don't know what that has to do with it unless Helen came from an ATM. Cart convenience, maybe that has something to do with something in there as well. Location of incident, okay. Wake Up Call Cafe, La Poche Restaurant, and Supreme Burger. Okay. Let's see what these have to do with anything. Let's just look at the couple pieces of physical evidence first. Okay. 4-pin premium brewed beer. Okay. Is there anything else special about this? Not that I can kind of look at. What do you guys think? Hello. It's good to have you here, Paige. Good. We just started, so you haven't really missed anything. I just read basically what they want us to do. They want us to answer these questions. Who was the getaway driver and who was involved in stealing Helen Turner's purse? They arrested a guy that was outside of a van. And they found this stuff inside his van, and they suspect he was part of a gang that was going to rob a bank. He gave up his accomplices for the bank, but they also think that some members of this group might be involved in a purse snatching ring as well. And we have the police file for one Helen Turner, who filed a police report about her purse being snatched. So actually, let's look at this first. This is her statement to the police. Okay, Helen Turner. All right, she's 5'5". Okay. Suspect, unknown, light skin. That means that it is greater than, right? This symbol right here, where it's facing away from it. Isn't that right? Okay, that's what I thought. Those two always confuse me. So that means that they were taller than she was. Okay, because she was 5'5". All right. And dark hair. Okay. Date of the theft, the time. Okay, 3:10 p.m. And the date. Okay. So if the bigger number, okay. So in this case, it would be a bigger number on this side, and then the gator, and then the smaller number. So it would chomp the big number. Okay. That actually makes some sense. Because it honestly, it always confused me, because I always thought the opposite. If it was opening up against the number, I thought that meant that that was bigger, but no, it's the opposite. Okay. Yeah, I hated dealing with that in math equations. Okay, so the first thing, 10:05:09, and then 3:10 p.m. Okay. All right. Corner of Harmonia Street and Zanda Avenue. Harmonia Street and Zander Avenue. Okay, so it must be the oh, there it is. So it is right there. Okay. Right behind that. Okay, that's the incident. Okay. Rosenberg purse, rose gold, crossbody, 1. Keys, there's 4 keys. A phone, mint green case, 1. Wallet, rectangular, snap, chevron, white, and turquoise. Credit cards, Clover Bank, in the name of Helen Turner. Lottery ticket, Undine Lottery. Cash, 5-10. And the total value is $40. So it could be that she had a couple 10s, maybe a couple 5s and some 1s, but altogether it was $40, right? 1 ID card as well. Okay. Total value $590. Okay, we looked at this briefly. It's just it's a beer. Quality imported from Germany. Okay. That could be something. Menthol cigarettes. Is there anything? Sticks brand. Okay. All right. This kind of matches her phone, right? Mint green. That is kind of it's not white. It's definitely not white. Can the phone open? Oh. Ooh. Oh, the smokes. I'll open the smokes and find out. Oh, okay. Are you sure we can trust this guy? He seems all over the place. Okay, maybe this isn't her phone. Maybe this is one of the robbers' phones. Okay. I know you hate unpredictability, but we've already seen what he can do. I'm sure it'll be fine. Lorenzo vouched for him personally. He's just a temp anyways. Bah, I hate Lorenzo as well, but someone that has his respect must be at least somewhat capable. Okay. Hey, do you have time? I overheard something real interesting. $600 cash. It might be real quick and it's on the way. Boss told us don't use this number if it's not related to the job. You're too loyal to that guy. Isn't he younger than you? Really? We go a long way back. Besides, there's rumors that he was already stealing big time at just 8 years old. In that sense, he's my senior. Shh, whatever. You in or not, we can split it 50-50. Exactly, on the way. Okay, that's important too. Because when we go back to look at the map, we'll look at where... Yeah, we'll look at where the robbery took place, where they found him, and then maybe in their police files it'll say where they all live or where they all met as well, like where they might have met up before they planned to rob the place. Well, send me the details on the other phone. I'll decide then. And here's the last one. It just says 10/5/09. Okay, we saw that date too. I don't think there's anything else that interesting about this. Okay, let's pick this up again. What did I even do to open the other one? Oh, I can rotate this. Oh, this is a lot better. I can rotate this with the keys on my keyboard, actually. That's a lot easier. I don't think I can. I think with this one, yeah, it was left clicking with it. So let me, if I left click with this one again, it doesn't do anything. Okay. So we've looked at both of those, and here's the money. Okay. So okay. What I noticed right away is all the hundreds look brand new. All the lower denomination bills look used, and that they've been in circulation a while, and that, you know, they didn't come. Yeah, they're definitely not new. We have 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. We have $40 here, which matches how much. Yeah, 5 is in ones too. And on her police report, she said it's either 5-10 or 10-5. The total matches, but, and it is different than the other stuff. Like wherever they got this 100, they didn't pick up the other 40 at the exact same place. Or at the exact same time, I should say. Or maybe same place. Because they definitely look a lot. Yeah, these look like brand new, like they've just been printed. Let's look at this again. 5-10. It says 40, but yeah, it says 5-10. Wait a minute. 5 to 10. Could that be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? There's also 10 bills there too, as well. There's 10 bills, actual individual pieces of money as well. I don't know if that's actually significant, but there's 10 individual pieces. There's 10 individual bills there as well that are not $100 bills. The old ones look wet. They do look kind of, they look ragged, don't they? Like, yeah. Okay. Right, so that could be some of her money. Let's look at this again. Okay. On the way. That's where the purse snatching was. These right here have to play into it somehow. We just don't know what they are yet. This is the bank that these guys were going to rob. And Helen actually had a card from Clover Bank as well. They arrested them here, the initial arrest, and then they got the van. Now this is interesting. Initial arrest. Didn't they say that they found him outside the van? Okay, the police have arrested a man they suspected about to rob a bank. They confiscated items found in the van. The man was standing by. Okay, so the van is up there and they arrested him here. He wasn't standing by the van. Or maybe they just, I don't know. That seems kind of weird, right? Keys. I don't see the keys in here anywhere. Unless you guys see them underneath there while I have this turned. I don't think there's any keys in there. Yeah, I don't see any keys in there. Okay, let's see what else is in here. Okay. This is the police records, okay, of some of the guys. Wait. Who is the main guy that they arrested? Did they even tell us that? What his name was? They did not. The only name we got out of this was Helen Turner. Okay. Here, I'll do this. I'll use a whole different keyboard. You realize my keyboard is like literally 20 years old, right? I have another keyboard here. The only thing you might hear is this. And that's my mouse. I mean, that's me just hitting my mouse. But do you hear that? Hear my keyboard? You hear the background clacking with that one? I'm hitting a key to open that. When I type on my laptop. I don't even realize it, and then all of a sudden, ever since that happened, and I could hear it on the video, like, I hear myself throughout the day, and it's like, it feels like I'm pounding on my keyboard. I don't know why, but... Okay, evidence. Okay, let's look at the evidence. Okay, wow. My master plan written on a piece of paper. This is real smart. Okay. My master plan, Clover Bank, monthly swap. Lorenzo, we learned about Lorenzo in the phone. Lorenzo will send all of us exact date. Okay, so that last message on there should have been from Lorenzo to give the date of 10/5, right? Part 1 of swap, 3:15 to 3:35. There's a 20-minute window. Every second counts. Be in position 3:15 sharp. get in, get out, minimum security at this time. 315 to 335. Security returns from swap. Second part of swap. 335 to 355. Too much activity. Plan B. Activity returns to normal at like 4:10ish. May have to resort to robbery at gunpoint. Plan C. Wait another month. Don't have time. I wonder why. I wonder why he doesn't have the time. Okay, what's the next piece? Split. 55% man with the plan, that would be Lorenzo. 15% to the helper. 25, well, I guess not. Lorenzo isn't the man with the plan. You're right, because like what happened in the last one, there's not a lot of people that talk about themselves in the third person. So whoever made this plan, it wasn't Lorenzo. I thought it would be, but yeah, no. He wouldn't be, Lorenzo wouldn't be saying, Lorenzo will send all of us exact date. So somebody else made the plan. Lorenzo might have just been organizing it. So we don't know who the main person was with the plan, or the helper, or the getaway driver. One of the things we need to do is figure out who this is, and then how many of these people are actually involved with it, of the people that they arrested for the bank robbery. And then 5% for Lorenzo. Okay, wow. Richmond donates thousands of dollars. I wonder how much of this is important. I'm not sure. Let's see. Actually, let me zoom back out. Counterfeiter escapes authorities. Honestly, that money looks like it's counterfeit to me. That $100 bill, the $100 bills, they look counterfeit, honestly. There's too brand new, too clean. They look counterfeit. Patricia Langley comes home to Portland. Pyramid scheme exposed. Local family store goes out of business. Maybe this has something to... The mark on this? What mark are you looking at? Oh, the money. The backs don't really tell us much. It just seems unlikely that someone who's about ready to rob a bank would have $600 in brand new cash. Wait, something just clicked. Hold on. $600 cash. It will be real quick. I thought they were referring to Helen, but maybe not. Yeah, I think the same thing, Charlie, that the hundreds have got to be counterfeit, right? And there is $600 worth of counterfeit down there as well. I thought they were talking about Helen, but how would they know how much money's worth of stuff she had in her purse? Because the total amount of stuff she reported stolen was, I think, $590. But where did they get this? This 600 has to be that $600 $1 bills, the $100 bills. Okay. Yeah, because there's 6 of them. They have $640 right here in cash. Okay. Okay, so this might be something to look at. I want to look at this too, because this might be why somebody doesn't have time to wait anymore. Is something like this might be a clue as to who, because it was the one who did the master plan, right? Yeah, I think the other bills are from Helen's purse as well. I think that's her $40 for sure. That's what I think too. And remember, whoever made the master plan, who wrote that original list, they were talking about the different phases of their plan. And they talked about waiting, and they said they couldn't wait. This would be something that maybe you couldn't wait for if the threat of a family-owned business, your own business, going out of business. This would be something that maybe I can't wait. I have to have the money now to do something with. So here's some names we should make note of here. Portland says a fond goodbye to Hardison Groceries. Let's see if that's on the map too. Hardison Groceries has been in the neighborhood for 56 years. It was run by the Hardison family, who had been part of our community for 120 years. Jason Hardison, the first generation owner of the store, came to Portland during the time that it was known as Stumptown. He started Hardison Groceries and stayed firm even when ruffians harassed, that's such a great word, ruffians, harassed the store, or when the neighborhood went down the drain due to racketeering and the multitudes of illegal activity that made Portland recognized as one of the most dangerous port cities in the States. Jason protected the store all the way to his grave at the age of 82. His son Isaac took on the mantle and the store. By then, Portland was no longer just a lumber town. It was a city. It was also World War II. Isaac kept the store open all through the war. He was drafted into the army, but his wife, Eva, kept the store going. Unfortunately, Isaac died in the war. Eva kept the store going with the help of her young son, Ethan. When Ethan reached his maturity, the war had ended and he had taken over the store. He persevered through the Depression and did his best. Wait, World War I, that has to be. Where was that? That says 2. The Depression was in the 30s. Anyways, he persevered through the Depression and did his best to resist changing the prices in the store. In 1994, Ethan retired and gave the store to his son, Rick. Okay, let's remember Rick. Rick would be the one, I think, that might be involved in something now. It has to be Rick, if anyone is. Ethan died 3 years later. Rick was 32 when he inherited the store. So 32 in 1994. Which means if this was set now, he'd be 64 or 62. Almost. Ethan retired and gave the store to Rick. Ethan died 3 years later. Rick was 32 when he inherited the store. He got married a year later, and soon he had his first child. Even with the rise of supermarkets and chain grocery stores, Hardison Groceries remained a favorite among the locals. Maybe it's actually Rick's son. Oh, we'll find out down here, I think. Their family and their familiar and friendly countenance, fair prices, and fully organic products, of course, made customers comfortable and satisfied. It is sad that Portland will be losing one of its historical locations and greatly loved families. Rick Hardison fell ill last year and died 2 months ago. He was survived by his wife, Tara, and 2 children, Grace and Zach. However, Tara, being a teacher, didn't have the know-how to continue the store, and Grace and Zach are still underage. It was with a sad heart that Tara closed down the store. The family will be moving to another city to live with Tara's family. The city of Portland wishes the family good luck. Maybe that's not anything. Let's see if it's on the map. It's not. Okay. So that was just a nice little read. I don't think that had anything to do with it. All right. What else do we have here? The counterfeiter. Yeah. All right. Let's look at this. Counterfeiter escapes authorities. For 3 months, the authorities have been trying to track a counterfeiter known as the Mockingbird by the underworld. The Mockingbird has been forging bills that have been popping up in the stores around Portland. Why do they spell Portland like that? That's weird. And the surrounding cities. This has greatly affected the profits of said stores and the economy of the city as a whole. It is speculated that this might be a warm-up for something bigger, or practice to forge something of even more value than Benjamin's. Huh. That same type of knowledge, I guess you could forge bearer bonds or something like that, but I don't know what else you would want to, that you could directly translate forging money into forging something else, not like forging a painting or something. Anyways, if the Mockingbird does forge something else of greater value, the likelihood of any officials being able to identify the forgeries is close to zero. If the Mockingbird is to be caught, it would have to be when he/she is still forging bills. With the pressing problem of the fake cash, it has been proposed to petition for an update of dollar bill security measures, specifically for denominations less than 20. Okay. There are security measures for the $50 and $100 bills. Okay. But none for the 20, 10, 5, and 1. Since forgers are starting to use the smaller bills for their forgeries, the need for these security measures are more pressing. The police are using all the resources they have to catch this forger. Until they do, make sure to check the authenticity of the bills you have, the bills you use or receive. It is common to believe that you only need to be cautious of higher value bills. However, it has been found that forgers have used $20 bills and less to circulate the fake bills. Do not fail to check the similar denominations. 2 10s, 2 5s, 5 1s. That's true. Validate your cash. Methods to check for authenticity of cash can be found on page 4. What? Do I not have page 4? Come on. Well, I won't be able to validate our money then, will we? Undyne winning numbers. Wait, where did I see something about Undyne? Oh, someone had... Helen had a lottery ticket for the Undyne lottery, right? Yeah, the lottery ticket. You're right. Okay. Dang, I wish I knew. I don't think it listed what she said her numbers were. Because maybe she had a high value number. You know, that could be as well. Patricia Langley comes home to Portland. Pyramid scheme exposed. Oh, the FBI. Okay. Murder of Victoria Wells. Okay, let's do this. Let's also look at, because that's all the evidence there. Let's look at the people involved, because maybe some of their names will stand out to us from that, from the news clipping, right? Okay, one key thing is that the person who stole the purse, one thing we know is they have dark hair and they're taller than 5'5". Okay, so this could be, it could be him as well. Brown hair. Frank Carter. Okay. Been previously arrested for petty theft, stole from civilians, shoplifting, stole items from stores, conned money from civilians. Okay, that was 3 years, 5 years, 5 years. That's how much he did time for. So he was out for 2 years, then got arrested again, another 5. Then he was out for 1 and got another 3. Okay. What else? Carter is known for having done forgeries, but it was never proven and he was never convicted. Okay. All right. If he could do forgeries, right? Why is he doing this other petty bullcrap right here? Or maybe it's something he's picked up since he last got out. Could be that. Doesn't say when they think he started doing forgeries. Oh, Chad Harris. He's 5'6". Got brown hair as well. He has 2 convictions. Identity theft and armed robbery targeted banks. Okay. Now remember, all of these files are from the one person that was the person with the van that they arrested, and then all of his co-conspirators for the bank robbery. So that's what all, because that one person gave up the other people involved. They just don't know. We still don't know who's in charge, although they don't ask. They want to know who the getaway driver was, and then who, if anyone, was involved in the purse snatching ring as well. All right. So we have those 2. So obviously, you know, he's, you know, this is right up his alley, which makes sense. That's why they have him there. Release in February 2009 for good behavior. It's interesting. He only served what? He only served 3 out of 10? Wow. He must have been a really good boy, huh? Didn't get out early there, did he? Huh. Okay. Interesting. You think so? You think he paid someone off? Ooh, you think he got out in 2006? No, that's the arrest date. Wait a minute. So 10 years, he only served... He served 3 years. Yeah, he got out in 2009 for good behavior. Yeah, or he snitched, right? He might have snitched on these people, but this is in the past, I think. This doesn't say. Let's go back to the first one. This happened on... Oh, crap. So this happened supposedly in 2009. Okay. 5'5" and dark hair. Light skin, okay. Okay, so 2009. That means he had just gotten out 8 months prior. 8 months. He had only been out for 8 months when he took this job, and he got out on good behavior. You think he's a snitch? Because that's a lot to have off your sentence, right? I mean, he didn't even serve a third of his sentence. The stats, what are you talking about? What stats? Oh, the starts? What do you mean? Oh, the stars. What stars? What are you talking about? Oh, then just remove your profanity filter. Yeah. There you go. Paige has got you. There you go. He strikes me as if this guy is involved, right? He may have been a snitch. He may have been a snitch to get out early. And he may have been a plant in this group, right? He may have been a plant because he has a history of armed robbery, targeting banks specifically. He got out 7 years early on his previous one. So he may have made a deal to get out because the police found out that something might be going down with a bank. And maybe they made some sort of deal with him. And he got in, and he's the one who actually tipped them off about the guy in the van to get them arrested. Get the whole group arrested. That's the role this guy might be playing. I first thought maybe he was the ringleader, but I don't think so. He still could be, I guess, but I'm leaning more towards he might have been a plant from the police to maybe bring down the ring, and they let him out as part of a deal to come out early. That's just my guess, though. That's Chad. Okay, now we have Anthony Young. Did you get rid of your stars there, dear, in the text? I'm trying to figure out what they actually removed for you. Yeah, I see ass. Okay. There you go. Shit ass. Here we got little Anthony Young. He's 5'7". He is quite a bit taller still than the other ones. The other ones were what, 5'6"? He's got black hair. Okay. The other ones had brown, and hers just says dark. Okay, ladies, answer me this. Do you guys normally call brown hair dark? I know it can kind of depend on how dark the brown is. But if someone has black hair, do you call it black or dark? Okay, black hair is dark. Okay. So if you look at it, his looks pretty dark too, but his is kind of a darker brown. Okay, so Charlie, either one, like his even looks kind of dark, doesn't it? His doesn't look like a lighter brown, but it says brown. I was just trying to see if we could maybe soft rule out these first two, but maybe not. Is that does look a bit lighter. That does look really dark though. Okay, let's see what this guy was done and when he got out. So he was arrested in 03. He served 3 years, so he got out in 06. Petty theft, stole from the elderly. Ugh. Breaking and entering. Conned money from women. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that. He almost looks like he could be a ginger that dyes his hair, to be honest, with his facial hair. I could be wrong. My dad has, ironically enough, my dad has really dark hair, but when he grows his beard, it grows out red like some frickin' Irish or Scottish man. It's really weird. Yeah, no. Not feeling him either. Okay, so this is interesting. The very first guy and this guy have kind of similar MOs for what kind of crimes they did. Because if we go back to this guy, petty theft, stole from civilians, shoplifting, and then conned money from civilians, right? What, my hair? Oh, my beard. It didn't used to be. It didn't used to be. It used to be all black. Okay, so these two have very similar, like, crimes they've committed. A lot of them have been, you know, small things like stealing purses, right? Petty theft. This is probably like him stealing a purse from an elderly person, right? Or something like that. Petty theft. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. See, yeah, almost identical, right? Except stole from civilians, and the other one was stole from elderlies. Shoplifting, and then conned money. This one's breaking and entering, so it's not shoplifting, right? But conned money, this one was from women, and the other one was just from civilians. So these two both have very similar... What is the right one to... right way to put it? Criminal patterns that they commit. Like what crimes they're comfortable committing. It's not armed robbery. It's not robbing a bank. This was, to put it lightly, just petty crap, right? Not petty as in it wasn't important, but compared to robbing a bank, this is a big leap. Like, as far as the severity of what that is, compared to like maybe stealing a purse, right? Breaking and entering, okay. Conning money from women. This guy like screams purse snatcher to me. Yeah, similar rap sheets, right? And you can tell like what a criminal prefers to do or is comfortable doing based on generally what they end up getting arrested with, because that's what they do, right? Some people are comfortable stealing cars, some people are comfortable just shoplifting or, you know, conning people out of money, doing soft cons of just, you know, convincing people to give them money. This guy screams of a purse snatcher to me. Petty theft, stole from the elderly. It's like stealing. I see this and I'm like, it could be one or two things, right? Either he steals old ladies' purses, right? Or it's got to be that, right? Because, okay, petty theft, okay? Petty theft is not the same thing as conning money, obviously. You have to actually steal something. And petty theft has to be a threshold of the amount of the value before you get into something more severe than petty, right? So this screams like I stole somebody's purse or something like that, right? That's what that says to me. Breaking and entering, same type of thing. And then he conned money, and specifically out of women and then elderly. Like I can see this guy targeting elderly women to steal their purses, right? Yeah, small things, right? Does work for old people and still, yeah, okay. Is that what you think this is right here? Or maybe this. Both, maybe. Okay. So yeah, that's a good point, Paige, is that this could be something like you said, let's say he's one of those infamous things you see in movies and things like that where, oh, he's just like some like a handyman, right? Looking for work or something like that, right? And he does work for them. He kind of cases the place, and maybe he ends up breaking and entering down the line because he didn't do it right away. But yeah, as he's in there, and maybe they're somewhere else, maybe he goes and rifles through their jewelry drawer or something like that, and takes something from them. So something small enough that it's not it's only considered petty theft. Okay, yeah, okay. Someone who just needs to grab enough money worth of stuff to go and get their daily hit, right? Of drugs if they're a drug addict. Okay, so I think we agree that 1 and 3, 1 being this guy and 3 being this guy, could easily be the 2 people that were talking on that cell phone, right? One of these 2 maybe owns that cell phone and was talking to the other guy about maybe stopping off to steal a purse. But then that comes back to, what if Helen is somehow tied to the counterfeiter, right? What if she actually had that money in the purse, but she didn't report the $600 missing? Because are we thinking that they made 2 stops, right? One to like steal the $600 they talked about on the phone, then another one just to nab her purse? I don't know. Whoa, that's a bit too zoomed in. Okay. Theft, Helen Turner. Okay. All right, here we go. Now this is actually what Helen says happened. Okay. I was at home for pretty much the whole morning. I went to Wake Up Call Cafe. Okay, we'll look that up over there on the map, to meet up with my friend around 2 p.m. Nothing of note happened. I just told my friend that the news had announced the winning numbers of a lottery I played, and I had won some money. You know what? Okay, hear me out here. What if her friend was the guy who owned the phone? Remember how he is... No, wait. Or the other guy. Damn, I got the 2 mixed up. One of the 2 guys on the phone, right? And said, do you want to make a quick buck on the way? Because he knew that Helen had a winning lottery ticket and they could steal her purse and turn that lottery ticket in. What do you bet that maybe her friend was one of those 2 guys that were talking back and forth on the cell phone? That could very well be it. Could. I was going to cash it in today. We made plans to meet up again to celebrate. All right. I left the cafe about 45 minutes later. So she left the cafe about 2:45. 30 minutes before they had planned to start robbing the bank. They had to be in place exactly at 3:15. This was at 2:45. Okay. I headed towards Cart Convenience, and that was around the time that I got knocked over by a man coming up from behind me. Next thing I knew, I was watching him turn around the left corner with my purse in his hands. You never really think such things would happen to you until they do. All I can remember is that he was a bit taller than me and that he had dark hair and light skin. As soon as I was able to gather my wits, I asked a passerby to call the police. Okay, so she was at Wake Up Call Cafe. Then she was headed towards Cart Convenience. Okay, let's look at all of that on the map. Okay. So she was down here. I wonder when that's going to come into play, because I don't see that anywhere or that yet. And what the hell does that have to do with anything? There's been no mention of an ATM. Okay, she was down here, right there. So the incident was where her purse got stolen. Okay, she was on her way up here to Cart Convenience over there to turn in the ticket. So he could have texted a friend at any time while they were there. He could have decided to do it. He could have told his friend to, where she was going, because she said where she was going to be going. I'm going up to Cart Convenience to turn this in to get my money. How much? I don't know. Maybe. Okay, now I'm all over the place. Okay. So it was right here. He went around the corner and then, disappeared, right? Disappeared somewhere. But this is right where it was at. It's right there. So I want to look at the newspaper again, because I want to see about the winning numbers. She had 4 winning numbers. She had $600. So what if, okay. Who was the getaway driver? I need to read the text messages again, but I now that I think about it, that $600 had to have come from the convenience store with whoever stole her purse, turned that in. Right? Because this is everything they found on them, right? Which was the $600 they had gotten from her ticket, okay? And then the $40 she had in her wallet. Didn't someone get arrested by the convenience store, so they turned in her lottery ticket? They got arrested. Wait a minute. Let me... We'll see it there. But wait. Police have arrested man they suspect to be about to rob a bank. Standing by. On Turner. All the police have are the items from the getaway van, which is that stuff there. Okay. I think the incident they're talking about right here. Are you talking about that one, Paige? Or did you see it in one of the reports or in the okay. This is, I believe, where Helen got robbed right here. That's the incident. Because she was coming from here and she got robbed here. She was on her way up here. Now, did someone get arrested by there? I don't. Clover Bank, which is up north. Monthly swap, not one. That's all we've got there. Okay, the corner of, yeah, Harmon Street and Xander, and that is at 310. They're cutting it close, right? Because that also means that it took her 25 minutes to walk up here. Remember, she left the cafe at 2:45, and she said she was robbed at 3:10. Now, there's nothing saying that. I don't see a rap sheet for Helen either, so they didn't arrest Helen. So if Helen is somehow involved in all this, they haven't arrested her. She's only being treated as a victim right now. So it took her 25 minutes to walk to here. According to her, that's the time at 3:10. But see, that also leaves them 5 minutes to get to a car and get all the way up here. Does that make sense? Because if it took her 25 minutes to walk here, either that or she's totally wrong about the time. Actually, hold on. I want to check something real quick. Hey, do you have time? I overheard something real interesting. $600 cash. It can be real quick, and it's on the way. She didn't say how much, at least not in her statement, how much the ticket was worth, but she did say that she won some money, right? Wait, what do you mean she went to go get in the car? Did she say that in her statement? Left the cafe about 45 minutes later, so about 2:15, about 2:45. I headed towards the convenience store that was around the time that I got knocked over. Yeah, purse was on the way to the to cart convenience. So purse was snatched in between here and here. And I think that is what this is. This is where she got her purse snatched, was right here. And she doesn't act like it's very long either. Like, I headed towards car convenience, and that was around the time that I got knocked over. According to her timeline, it was 25 minutes later. It's not a short amount of time. It's like half the amount of time she was actually in the cafe with her friend as well. I played and I had won some money. So in here, she doesn't say how much. I was going to cash it in today. We had plans to meet up again to celebrate. Okay. Things happening. All I remember is that he was a bit taller. Coming up from behind. The next thing I knew, I was watching him turn around. So he was in the cafe no matter what, right? Like, even whether he was the friend or at a nearby table and was listening. He heard it. Texted his friend, obviously while they were still there, because she got there at 2. She didn't leave till 2:45. And according to this, at 2:20 is when she was talking to her friend about the money, somewhere around there. Because this is where this person says, I overheard this. It can be real quick. Boss told us don't use this number. You're too loyal. We go all the way back. Already stealing big time at just 8 years old. One in, we can split 50-50, okay? This has to be from Lorenzo, setting the date, right? This is the day of, less than an hour before they're supposed to be at where they're going to rob the bank. Are you sure we can trust this guy? This is 3 days before, but 2 days after the date has been set. Seems all over the place. I know you hate unpredictability. We've already seen what he can do. I'm sure you'll be fine. Lorenzo vouched for him personally. Just a temp anyways. But I hate Lorenzo as well. But someone that has his respect must be at least somewhat capable. Okay. So Frank, Chad, and Anthony. So did they not get Lorenzo? Unless Lorenzo is a nickname, right? And honestly, looking at this stuff, the only, I don't like saying it this way, but really the only like really hardened criminal in the bunch is Chad. Let's actually see if any of them serve time together or at the same time in any of the prisons, okay? Let's check that fact first. So let's go back to the first guy. 99 Willow Bay for shoplifting. The longest rap sheet as far as crimes, the first and third guy each have 3. And the second guy that we think is the snitch, he has the most years that he would have had to serve. The middle guy, right? The snitch? Or you think one of these other 2 guys? '74, so he would have been 18. Wow, when he was stealing from... Yeah, he would have been 18. Yeah, these were stupid, yeah. And he was 18 when he got arrested. This guy was born in 81, and he was 19 when he did identity theft. He was at Willow Bay in 2000. This guy was at Willow Bay in 99. This guy wasn't at Willow Bay at all. Okay, I have a theory. What if this guy is actually Lorenzo? Because think about it. He served at the same place, right? As this guy. Same time frame. Okay, in 99, he did 5 years. Because the only time he got out early, and this is also the guy that was known to do forgeries as well, but was never convicted. I think this guy might be Lorenzo. I don't see anything here saying that, but like, yeah, they were both in Willow, but at the same time, which means that could be how this guy could vouch for this guy right here. Because in the phone conversation, they say, you know, I don't like new people. You know, and then they mentioned that Lorenzo vouches for him and is like, well, Lorenzo vouches for him. I guess he's a good guy. That could tie these two together, that they served at the same time in the same prison. They might have known each other. That may be what they're trying to imply by that. Because this guy didn't serve with either one of them, from what I can see. Solidgate, Iron, and Dark Water. Maybe Dark Water. Solidgate in 92, but this guy was in 03. Iron Bolt and Dark Water. Dark Water in 05. See, this guy was in... See, their prison time in the same prisons are flipped. So, like, number 3 and number 1, this guy and this guy never served together. They were both in the same prison, but in 2 completely different time frames. So, but you know, he could have known this guy on the outside, because look, they're only 3 years apart too. He's 35 and he's 38. This guy's 28. So yeah, I bet, because this guy was never in Willow. Yeah, so the only one that could have maybe met in prison would have been this guy and the guy who's already robbed a bank. Now the question is this. Well, actually, it's not a question. I'm just curious who the ringleader was. But out of these 3, who do we think might have been the driver? Is there anything in here that tells us this? Are you sure we can trust this guy? Chad. The middle guy? Maybe. This is when, are you sure we can trust this guy? He seems all over the place. I know you have him, you know, but we've already seen what he can do. Okay, we've already seen what he can do on the first. I mean, on the second. You think the... Oh, you're good. You're good, Paige. No worries. Yeah, but we've already seen what he can do. Unless they're talking about another crime, they might be talking about what he was convicted for, right? So they already know that he's capable of planning, possibly planning, right? And executing a bank robbery. Could that be what they're referring to when they're talking about, we've already seen what he can do? Do you guys think? Seeing, because that would mean that Chad is the odd man out, the middle guy. And that but then these two, then who are these two then? Because neither one of these guys is Lorenzo, right? Because Lorenzo may not even be one of the 3 at this point. But he hates Lorenzo as well. Okay. I don't know. So we think Chad was the... Do we think Chad was the getaway driver? Now, the other thing to remember is whoever the getaway driver was, I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm assuming that whoever it was, the getaway driver, was one of those two people in the phone, and that they were directly involved in robbing Helen's purse. Whether the one that informed the other one or the guy who actually took it. The only reason I say that is because the money was found in the van. But it has to be, right? Because they didn't, it was just planned between those two. So the guy that was either the friend or overheard Helen talking in the diner, right? One of those two is the getaway driver. Okay. And he's also the one who sent this message right here. He is this person right here. This is either the friend or the person who overheard them in the cafe. Time $600, which is what they ended up getting after they went to the convenience store to turn in the ticket. They got that $600. And that makes a little more sense. They probably had it in a safe at the convenience store and gave it to him because in case of a payout. Boss told us don't use this number if it's not related to the job. We go a long way back. Okay. Okay, we go a long way back. '99. I mean, now that I look at it, huh. 09, okay. So he served those 3 years and was out for about 7 months, okay. So they could have met during this time here, which means they would have known each other for almost 10 years, right? Yeah, he's old. So old. He should have a cane and like a walker. But that also means that they had known each other. They had known each other since '99, right? Almost 10 years. So if don't make me scrub my VOD, dear. I don't want you throwing out my age out there into the ether so everyone knows. Okay, so if they met, right? They could have known each other for, wait a minute. Yeah, they could have known each other for 9 years. Okay, I think I got this all backwards now. Okay, so we have Chad. We think Chad and Frank knew each other from prison, right? If Chad and Frank knew each other from prison, Chad could be the boss, right? If you think about it, because he would know how to plan all of this. Who's older? What, out of these guys? Or me and my wife? Oh, okay, good. I don't want to say anything else. The oldest one in prison is Anthony, right here. So, the two that were in jail together, actually, this guy is older. Yeah, because one of them mentioned being younger, right? Why do you give him such deference or such reverence because he's younger than you? That's a good point. Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can put this together. Okay, so Frank is older. Frank and Chad knew each other, okay? I'm sure it'll be fine. Boss told us not to. You're too loyal to that guy. Isn't he younger than you? Okay. The youngest one out of those three is the 28-year-old that did time for trying to rob a bank. So that guy could be the boss, who they're referring to as the boss, who is the guy who made this list right here, who wrote his master plan. Chad, exactly. So Chad might be the guy who did the master plan, okay? Lorenzo, I don't think factors into this at all, because none of the other two seem like they're Lorenzo, and none of them have his name, even if it's like a street name or a pen or a nickname, right? Okay, so they said he's younger than them. We go all the way back. Besides, there's rumors that he was already stealing big time by just 8. Okay, so this has got to be Chad. Chad's the boss. He was talking about Chad. And the other guy on this phone, 348. Okay, so this, okay, so, okay, I think I put it together. Okay, so the two people on the phone are actually Frank and Anthony. Okay, Frank and Anthony. Chad is the young guy. Chad is the boss and the ringleader. He's the one that made the master plan. He wrote it all up. He's the one that's, for some reason, is desperate for money. He says he can't wait. I think he is the boss, okay? This guy is older than him. Well, both of them are older than him. But this guy is older than him, and they know each other from prison, okay? And that's when he talks about, you know, why do you give him, you know, such deference? He's younger than you, right? And he's talking about Chad. So Frank, okay. Poor Loki. Or maybe not. If he's getting his ass whooped, that means he probably deserves it. So I think the two, okay, let me go back to the phone so I can figure out which number is actually Frank's. Yeah, let's figure out which one is Frank. Okay, Frank is the owner of the phone, okay? So Frank owns the phone. That means that this is Frank's phone. That means that Anthony is the one that was in the diner, right? He's either Helen's friend or he overheard them, okay? And I think only Frank and Anthony are in on the purse snatching. But that leads us back to, is Chad the getaway driver? Because there's, let's look at this again, because, okay, the money was recovered in the van, right? Because they said everything in there came from the van. Frank and, why the hell can't I remember his name? Kevin? Frank and number 3. I'm just going to call him number 3 because he's number 3 in the list. those are the two guys involved in the purse snatching thing, right? At least for Helen, because they're the two that were talking back and forth, and they were talking about doing it on the way. So they were on their way up here, right? I think Helen's mistaken about the time frame of the exact time, because I can't see this taking her 25 minutes to walk there, right? And then these guys miraculously making it all the way up there in 15, even driving. I mean, this is a city. This is freaking Portland. They ain't getting up there that quick. And they had to stop by and get the money, right? How did that money end up there? Because they specifically said the police were able to get him and his accomplices. It is suspected that the man and his accomplices might be involved in this. Okay, right here. The confiscated items found in the van the man was standing by. So we know that the money from her purse was in the van. You think they wanted to try to do it to give themselves an alibi for the crime? But if they did that, how did they actually make it up there in enough time? Because you know they did. Because this was found in the van by the guy that was standing up here. It was found in that van right there. Wait a minute, when's the arrest? The arrest was on the 5th, right? Yeah, okay. So the arrest was on that day for... No, wait, that was her police report. Wait a minute. Yeah, 10/5, because that was the day that they texted about, right? That was the day they said, yeah, 10/5. So it happened on 10/5. I think they were doing it to get the police to Helen have time to rob the bank. That makes sense. I'm just confused at how they got the money and made it all the way to there. But then again, we don't know the time they were arrested, do we? Because this doesn't say when they were arrested again, right? So this is just a rap sheet. Yeah, this is just a rap sheet. Okay, so we have the timeline here. Let's see, they decided, I hate to come back to this, but they decided on the 1st that 10/5 was a go. Okay, so on the 1st, they said, we're doing it on 10/5. Okay, then these other conversations happened in between. This happened the next day, talking about, you know, why do you trust him? And blah, blah, blah. And then this is the one where he says, you know, do you want to do this on the way? On 10/5 at this time, right? But do they actually say when they arrested these guys? They don't. We're just assuming. Okay, so what if they weren't? What if this whole timeline's a total farce, right? What if it's just a red herring? Because right down here, he says we may have to resort to robbery at gunpoint. Wait another month, don't have time. Okay. I don't see anything anywhere that references these percentages anywhere else that would try to allow us to link it to individual people either. Like I didn't see anything in the text plan or anything else that would say Yeah, with my 15% or my 25%, we know who the two people on the phone are, though. They're Kevin and Eric. I probably got their names wrong. But we know Chad. I won't forget the Chad. He is the boss, okay? So he's the one that considers the boss. He's the one that made this plan right here. Man with the plan, he wants the 55% split. He probably wants his best buddy to get the most of the next split, wouldn't you think? He might have convinced Eric to be the getaway driver. Because you know Kevin was the one in the... Okay, this might make more sense now, right? Kevin was the one in the diner, either Helen's friend or overheard, right? And then he was trying to convince the driver to do this on the way to the robbery. So the driver, the other person, Kevin, not Kevin, Eric. Eric is the driver. He's a getaway driver. That's what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? So who was the getaway driver? We think it was Eric. And who was involved in her thing? Eric and Kevin, but I have to get their exact names. But what do you guys think? Okay, let's go back over the three people again, really quick. Frank, it's not Eric, it's Frank. Sorry, my bad. Frank Carter is the driver. He's the guy who was in jail with Chad at the same time. They served together. Eric is the guy on the phone. Eric actually owns the phone. Okay? Because he gets a message from the other person that says, do you want to hit this up on the way to the job? Right? And then Eric is always the one talking about how he has respect for the boss, who is Chad. He's known him a long time. He's known him 10 years, okay? Since 99 or 2000, almost 10 years by this point. And that he's younger than him. So Chad's the only one that fits the bill as the boss. He is the only one that that they've provided clues that could link them together. Eric and Chad. Frank and Chad, okay? Yeah, so we think Frank Carter's the driver. And we also think that Anthony Young as well is in on the purse snatching, okay? So Anthony Young and Frank Carter. So Frank Carter, right? Little Anthony, little Tony. We also think Frank and... Oh, for hell's sakes. Dang it, what was his name? You guys remember his name? I'm gonna have to look now. Frank Carter, that's right. Anthony Young, dang it. Hey, Will, how you doing? I am back. Anthony Young. Okay. How does that look? What do you guys think? You're coming in right now at the end, but this is the kind of tutorial for the full game of the scene investigators. All the clues we had were just right here in here. Yeah, let's try it. Okay. Yes. Yes. All right. Excellent. There we go. 2 out of 2. Pass. Good stuff. Okay. We passed the preliminary trials then. That's good. That's good to know. All right. Nice. 2 out of 2.
Understood. You will be presented with a selection window during the exam. To pass the exam, you are required to solve all case files.
Okay.
A grade will be given for each attempted case file. You are free to retry them as many times as you want to improve your grades. It's important to note that the latest grade will always override the previous one, even if it's lower. Let's proceed. Which case file
Did this one.
tackle?
There's one more here that you unlock after you've done all these. We can do them in any order we want. We solved it. So, who do you, how about this? How about this, Charlie? Why don't you tell us who you think was the driver, and then who, or do you want us to just tell you? You can even say 1, 2, and 3 for the 3 guys, because I kept forgetting their names too. But it was, do you want us to tell you? Because we got it right. Okay, so we had those 3 people. They were Frank, and then Chad, and then Anthony. Those in order of how we looked at him, right? We figured out that Chad, the middle guy, he was the boss. He was the younger guy. He was the ringleader. He was the one who actually made the plan. He was the one they referred to as boss in the phone, okay? Eric, why do I keep saying Eric? Frank, we know Frank knew Chad in prison. And then from looking at the phone and the way it was worded, we figured out that Frank was the owner of that little cell phone we had, and that he was the one who knew the boss. So we knew that he was, from the other conversation with Anthony, we knew that he was the driver because Anthony sent him a message, because Anthony is the one who overheard Helen about the lottery ticket, right? He's the one that said, oh, I overheard this thing. Do you want to make 600 quick bucks on the way to our job? So we know that Anthony was, Frank was driver. Frank was the driver. And that the 2 people involved in Helen's purse snatching incident was Frank and Anthony. Chad didn't have anything to do with the purse snatching. It was just those 2. And both of those were right. So let's see. All right, so which one of these 3 do you guys want to look at first? What do we want to look at? This one says it's the easiest. Then this is the medium, and then this is the hardest of the 3. Missing? Okay. All right, let's do missing. Scenario 1. Yeah, there's different scenarios in here too, so. All right. Excellent.
Loading complete.
Here we go. The day started busy as usual for a financially struggling family trying to make ends meet. Before leaving for her early work shift, the mother kissed the sleeping kids goodbye. Unbeknownst to her, that day had turned into one that changed the family forever. Search through the scene and uncover what happened. Ooh, looks nice. Okay, now one nice thing about this that the tutorial didn't have is, let me see. There was actually, no, I don't want to do something different. We know the situation. We were supposed to have wow. Okay. Where was everyone at 2 p.m. on the 6th of September? Okay. Would the insurance cover the hospital bill? And who picked up the kids on September 18th? Interesting. Okay. What does that have to do with it too? I thought this had a maybe it doesn't in this mode. A built-in notepad actually in the game. Okay. So we started right here, right? So let's actually look around. Two kids are Hazel and Nicholas. Okay. 1 second. I'm going to... All right, I'm writing that down. Yeah, that is kind of a dirty mat, isn't it? Oh wow, I can get way down. That's new. Thought I could only like originally slightly kneel. Okay, let's look at this. Is there anything of interest here? Ooh, call logs. Okay, here we go. All right. So we have calls on the 18th at 1:45. That might be to somebody. It does, doesn't it? This might have been to somebody about picking up the kids from school, right? So I'm going to make note of that real quick. 348-113-9753. I'm going to fix something over here too, because this is bugging me. Let me fix that. Okay, and then I'm going to... There we go. It's bugging me that that was cutting off a little bit over there, the chat. Okay. Okay, let's see. They talk to that. Let's see. Yeah, 7. They do on the 17th, 18th, 15th, 15th, 13th. Wow, they do a lot. 1, 2. They talk to these two twice in a row, like 1 minute apart. Someone called in, they called out because they missed the call. Called in, called in, called in. Wait, no. That means missed. Okay. Missed inbound. they didn't reach them there, and then someone tried to call them back the next day. And early, yeah. I don't think so, because they talked to that number at 10 p.m. Yeah, they did the night before. Well, they tried to. Yeah, actually, they tried to call this number and didn't get an answer at 10:01. And then this play, and then they tried to call somebody else at 10:53. And that didn't go through either. Yeah. And then the last call in that was missed was on the 18th at 1:45 p.m. from that number. Oops. So 15th. Yeah, they talked to them a lot. And who's that? They talked to that number too. This one twice. No other times. This is the only 2 times for this number here. So that might be something to look at too. This is the only time this number is called. But this one and this one are called more frequently. Here's that 7318 number, and here's that 9753. 318. They call this one a lot. Yeah, all same area code too. So they're all local, right? So no one, this isn't some out-of-state call. That's a good point too, Will. All the same area code. Okay, so this is 466. I didn't even see that number. It's not even there in the recent. This one's not. But this is one of our key numbers right here, so let's listen to it.
That's it. Now I will be taking things into my own hands.
Well, that didn't sound good. Okay. So who owns this number? Yeah. They don't sound happy, do they? Not at all. And that one, that was the call they left right here. Oh, okay. So this might be something important, right? Assuming we find out who that is. Like, as long as we find out who that is, that could go to answer this question. No, it wouldn't, because that wasn't on the 6th, was it? This is on the 6th. That was on the 18th, so maybe not. That was there on the 18th. Okay, let's see what this one is. That was later in the day. This one is in the morning.
Hi, Mrs. Patton. This is Mrs. Bird, Nicholas's teacher. Nicholas wasn't able to take part in today's activities today. Make sure he brings his backpack next time.
That's also bad English by a teacher there. Wasn't able to take part in today's activities today. Anyways. So Nicholas didn't go to school with his backpack, right? On the 18th. Okay. So on the 18th, Nicholas didn't go to school with his backpack. Okay. But what it's weird that this doesn't show up in the call log, right? Or am I missing something? It's not there. And it happened on the same day. It happened this day right here. It should be right in between these two. I don't, that is kind of weird. All right, let's see this. Gina, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can pay you this Friday on the 11th. Okay. I'll pay the amount next Friday along with your next payment. So Gina not being paid on the 11th. Okay. Yeah. Must have been shortly after they got to school, right? She called and said, you know, make sure he brings his backpack to school next time. Or, you know, take part in today's activities. Oh, wait. He wasn't able to. Did they pay this close attention to detail when making this? Because wasn't means that they already had the activity. When do they go to school? That's another thing to think about. When do they actually go to school? I only know when they go to school out here where we live. So I don't know, like, what is the earliest where you guys live that kids go to school? Especially, I think these are younger kids, a lot younger kids, like, you know, grade school, you know, that type of thing. Okay. So it can be really early for elementary school. Okay, so you guys can go really early then, right? Okay. So then that makes sense. That can make some sense. Like ours are like 8 and 9, so here. We don't have those unholy hours you guys are talking about. 8:15 in some school. Yeah, that was kind of ours too out here where we are. Okay. Yeah, different places do the times differently. So she called probably after a morning activity, right? And left this message. It is weird that it's not on the call log anywhere though. So it should be right here. So Gina, I assume she does something for the house, right? Maybe she's a cleaner, a nanny, something, right? Sorry, but I don't think I can pay you this Friday, which is the 11th. That's what I was going to do. Gina not paid on 11th. Okay. Cleaner, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It could be a cleaner, right? Hey, Catherine, I talked to the Wilsons and they are happy to have you. The work are happy to have you. Okay, couldn't tell if that was weird. The work starts from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. So, but since it pays well, it can help with your family situation. Anyway, call me if you're interested. I left the agreement contract inside too. Megan. P.S. I still think it's better if you break things off with Thomas. I take offense to that. If they want my kids at school at 9:45, they better come wake them up. Seriously, right? Like this, my wife's not a morning person. That would not happen if my wife had to just wake them up that early in the morning. Okay, so if this is for the people that live here, right? We now know that Thomas is the husband, unless Thomas is a side piece of the wife, right? Unless she's having an affair with Thomas. Which could be because break things off with instead of break up with. Because do you break things off with your spouse or significant other, right? Yes, Thomas, I know. So is Thomas a homewrecker here? Is because you wouldn't say I want to break things off with my spouse, right? That's not the terminology you generally use, is it? Am I wrong? That's because it's it's my first name. So she always likes to, break things off with Thomas. Feels like they're breaking it off with me, even though I have nothing to do with it. So, but don't you guys agree? Like, you wouldn't say I'm breaking things off with your significant other, right? That's something you do with like a girlfriend or boyfriend or, something on that level, not someone you're married to or planning to be, you know what I mean? Like someone you may be married to or with kids, right? Yeah, this may be over your head for this type of conversation, Will. You're not in that situation yet. But you would say I'm gonna break things off with my girlfriend, right, Will? If that's something you would say, but not. I wouldn't say I'm gonna break things off with my wife. It doesn't sound right. That's not something you'd say. Okay. So Catherine might be cheating on her husband with Thomas. That's the way it kind of looks now. I don't know. I don't know. But Catherine, I wonder if Catherine is like, why else would this be here? Well, this is weird anyways, right? Why else would this be here if her husband was here too? Why would he have this? Star Diner. All day breakfast menu. $5 off. I don't know if that has any significance. I can't open these drawers either, and that kind of sucks. I was hoping for like a phone book or something in there. Okay, so with this, I'm going to make a note. I'm going to make a note real quick. Catherine. And I'll put in quotations, wife. Because it might be the wife, right? Catherine might be the wife. Seems like she probably would be, otherwise I don't know why I'd be here. To work for the Wilsons. From Megan. And then, oh, it's probably about the letter behind it. I'll look at that too. That's a good point. I didn't even look at that. And to break it off with Thomas. Okay. Okay, so this is, I assume, the paper behind it. Expected on the job. Making dinner, cleaning the house, doing the laundry, assisting them when they want to move around in the house / outside wheelchair. Okay, this sounds like taking care of an elderly couple. Take their medication, use the restroom, take a bath, change into their nightwear, get onto their bed for sleeping. Lock up at night. Any other times you must be on standby for any needs they might have. Okay, so that was what they were going to be doing from 1 to 9 every day to help make extra money. Okay. Okay. And that is completely separate from this because Gina isn't even mentioned. Okay. Oh, there's just so much to look at. Where do I go first? All right, let's knock out this living room. Let's do that. Any of that? No, that's not there. No. Oh, here we go. Star dinner, 6 to 12. Huh? Man, this person is working themselves into the ground, man. This is 15 hours a day right here. That's crazy. What is this? Thomas takes care, scratched out, comes back. Hey, Gina. Crossed out Gina. Hey, Gina. Gina has a family gathering from noon on that. Oh, okay. So here's the infamous day right here. Oh, that's just, and that wasn't like every other week, right? Right, Paige? That was like every week. Because sometimes they'll do that, like, and then give you a week off, or like 3 or 4 or 5 days off, and then do it again. Oh, that's just. Miss Olsen keeps calling. Call her back. Who's Miss Olsen? Thomas takes care of kids until Gina comes. Gina takes over from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay. Oh, really? Is that who that was? No, different one. Mrs. Bird was the teacher. That was a good guess. Because I don't see anything. Hey, Gina. No. I don't know the significance of that message from the teacher yet. But, okay, whoever Thomas is, whether he's boyfriend, husband, whatever, he's taking care of the kids for 5 hours until Gina comes at 9 or until 8. That's only an hour. Oh no, Gina comes from 3 to 8. Okay. So whenever the kids get home until 3 p.m. is when Thomas watches them, and then Gina does the last 5 hours, and nobody watches them from 8 to 9, maybe? While she's still with the Wilsons? Possibly? Thomas leaves to Albuquerque. Thomas leaves to Reno. Oh, Gina's last day. Oh my, okay. Leaves to Albuquerque, comes back. Day off. Wow. Grocery shopping / play with kids, okay. Couldn't pay Gina. Thomas comes back. She didn't do grocery shopping again on that day. She did it on Sunday. Thomas leaves to Reno. Thomas comes back. Gina, okay, grocery shopping. Wait a minute. Look at the 17th. Okay, so she just crossed out grocery shopping. Okay, so she didn't do it that day either. She did it on Sunday. Didn't do it that day. She has it planned to pay Gina on that day. It's shopping. He leaves. Comes back. Doesn't do shopping. Who? I want to know who. Why do you say that? Why do you say gambling, maybe? Oh, because he went to Reno, but he also went to Albuquerque. And seriously, if he's going out of town for 4 days at a time to like gamble money that she's working 15 hours a day to help provide for, his ass needs to be gone. I'm sorry. He needs to be gone. Because he's normally, when he's home, right? He's watching them until 3 p.m. So what the hell is he doing? Is he doing anything at all? Besides that? Can't do anything else with it. Can't pick that up or that. Oh, it looks like a Nintendo 64? Oh, that's an old TV. Oof. Okay, this is one of the young kids that was drawing on the wall. Any significance to anything over here? Okay, looks like the galaxy, Milky Way. All those are there, so nothing is missing from the fire. No, it wouldn't let me take the back off. It just says I can zoom. Oh, you guys can't see that. Hold on. Let me do something. Let me do that for a minute. So you guys can see as well. See? Right here, it's this lamp right here. Doesn't say I can touch it. It also doesn't let me do anything with that either. I don't. That's weird. There's no place for that to even be plugged in. It's probably running behind there, is what they think. Can't do anything with that or that. Let's see if there's anything behind here. I don't see anything. I see that. That's kind of weird, just to have one sitting there. Does he have like a really strong left arm and nothing else, or that person a right arm? We just have this now. Okay, X-ray scan. Ooh, okay. So they're talking about, remember they were talking about the hospital bill. It was Overmore. Okay, lamp on the floor fell. Why is that on? I can't turn it off, right? It's kind of weird. Okay, now remember, we did have that one thing in the questionnaire about would the insurance cover the hospital bill? I assume it's for this. Connor Morin Medical Hospital. X-ray, overnight stay, Mercy, IV hydration treatment, and a checkup. Wonder what the X-ray is for. And this was for Hazel. Wait a minute. Wasn't Hazel one of the kids? right? Right here. Oh, this is a dumbbell, a little arm, something, a little weight set, individual weight that you just lift with one arm. That's why I said someone has a real strong right arm or left arm, depending on who is trying to use it. Wasn't Hazel one of the children, though? Am I wrong about that? I'm right. Hazel's the daughter. And she went to the hospital and needed an x-ray, had to stay overnight, a checkup and a hydration treatment, an IV. What the hell could have happened to Hazel? An x-ray scan and a checkup. I wonder who that could have been. My internet's still being nice today. Okay, that is the same thing. Okay, so we now have an x-ray. Hazel. Hospital. X-ray and IV. Okay. All right. I think we've gotten everything in this room. Is there anything else in here you think... Wait, actually, I haven't checked underneath here. And I haven't checked any of this. Oh. Dear parent or guardian, a recent incident has come to our attention about the lack of supervision regarding a couple of students in one of our elementary schools. The district's CPS supervisor has already met with both students to understand the situation, and we want to take appropriate measures to ensure the safety of our students. This could directly lead back to... I don't know how old she is. She looks like, from the size of her shoes, maybe 8 or 9, maybe. At the request of the district CPS supervisor, we will require all students, elementary or under, to be dropped off and picked up by parents/guardians at bus locations. This will go into effect next Monday, September 14th. Please be at your child's bus location by the time listed below. This is the one they have marked off here. Bus pickup 7:40, bus drop off 1:20. Okay. So this means that the phone call did happen about an hour and a half after school started from the school teacher that day, okay? About the boy. And that they're done with school by about 1:20, which means Thomas only has to watch the kids for about an hour and 40 minutes before Gina gets here. That's her name, right? Yeah. The one who watches until 8 o'clock, an hour before mom gets home. From everything I've seen so far, it sounds like Thomas is a deadbeat. I don't know what he's doing on these trips he takes. I don't know. But just the fact that someone is recommending that they break it off with him, and the fact that he's really not doing anything, it doesn't show him doing anything. He watches the kids for an hour and a half and that's it. That's kind of pathetic. And that they're done by 1:20. And nothing underneath there either. Can I do anything with that? Nothing there. Is there anything else? See, yeah, she looks younger than Nicholas. Nicholas looks older. Just, they look a little bit, well, maybe not, actually. They're probably pretty close in age, but that's definitely not anything close to the size of the adults. I think they're like 8, maybe 9. Is there anything else in here I should be looking at? Oh, and this is where she works. That's the important thing about this. Okay, so here's the phone number, 2271. I don't think that's one of the numbers that was calling, right? That ends in 2271. No, okay. And there's nothing on here with a number, right? No, okay. All right. So, who is the angry one on the phone?
That's it. Now I will be taking things into my own hands.
Let's check the 14th. No calls on the 14th at all. And on the 13th and then the 15th, the only calls are from that same number that they get a lot of calls from. I still don't know who this is. The clue should be here somewhere though. Yeah, somewhere. See if there's any type of list on here like there was in the other one. Okay. Let's check this. No cooking without mommy or Thomas present. I also notice how could it be that one, could it be the one that's written in on the side about missing the calls? On this right here. Oh, Miss Olson keeps calling. Call her back. Oh, that's Olson. How many calls out to that number are there? This number here comes in. So whoever this is the one that left that threatening phone call too. Yeah, the bus. You're right. Because the bus pickup was supposed to be at 141. 120. So that was what, 25 minutes later? 25 minutes after they were supposed to be at the bus to pick them up is when this call came in. Yeah. And this is weird. She called out. Where does she work at 6 a.m.? Star Diner. Okay, maybe that's... Okay, wait a minute. Who the hell else would she be calling at 6 a.m.? This might be her boss, maybe? Or a coworker? At Star Diner. Who else is she going to be calling at 6 a.m., right? So if she's leaving at 6, actually, that means that Thomas is the one getting him up and getting him to school. He should be the one picking them up as well from the bus stop, right? Because according to this, Gina takes over at 3, which means, yeah, Thomas should be the one getting them to the bus stop because she's long gone at work by then. She's been at work like for an hour and a half by the time they get to the bus stop. So Thomas is the one who should be doing this, getting them to school, getting them home, everything like that. But whoever this is, who they call all the time in here, they're the ones that left that really angry message. So I'm curious to find out who that is. But I also noticed this. She references herself as mommy and Thomas as Thomas, not daddy. Or dad, right? So it could be that Thomas is a boyfriend and maybe she's divorced, right? That could make sense. That's also why she doesn't reference Thomas as dad. Something else to think about. I don't think Thomas is the kid's father is kind of what I'm saying. Let's see. I will buy groceries with next paycheck. Okay. If Nicholas is too fussy, you can give him some crackers in the cabinet. For emergencies, call me at Star Diner or the Wilsons. Okay, so Star Diner and the Wilsons is the 5412 number. I don't think I saw that on here, did I? The home phone didn't call that at all, so did not call that. Okay, nothing there. Are any of these cabinets? Nope. Okay, now let's see if any of those. No. Nothing there. None of that either, brother, or maybe, yeah, but with Thomas being a brother, right? Does it make sense to have it say, P.S. I think it's better if you break things off with Thomas? I don't think so. You wouldn't break things off with a sibling. Break things off signifies. I don't think I've ever said I'm breaking things off with just a friend either, right? Like I've never said that in my whole life. Exactly, yeah. Exactly, Charlie. To break it off with him. You don't use that terminology for a friend or relative. You would just say, I'm cutting them out of my life if they're a relative, or I'm not going to talk to them anymore. Breaking things off kind of signifies a more of an actual relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend type of relationship, right? So, like I said, I think Thomas is a boyfriend currently, especially the way that she refers to him right there. If he is an ex, he's not the kid's dad, right? Because even if he was an ex, they still, I would still think that they would, let's say Thomas was their father, right? But that they're divorced. Yeah, yeah. I don't think that Thomas is their dad, right? The kid's dad. I don't. But now, like, what is this? Who's Nicholas? Nicholas isn't one of the... Oh, that is Nicholas. How old is Nicholas that he's getting fussy? Seriously? How old is he? Do the size of those shoes mean nothing? Because those are like not the size of shoes you would think for a child that's getting fussy compared to that, right? Those do look like small maybe 5 or 6 year olds, right? Maybe. But that's just as equally as small. Maybe that's not important. These do look like shoes you'd put on a young child, though, right? Those Velcro ones you'd have to put on them. Yeah, exactly. Some Velcro Jesus sandals, right? Or not? Yeah. These are ones that you slap on a little kid that you didn't think was going to be walking around much. So that... Yeah, when I think of fussy, if he gets too fussy, you can give him some crackers. Fussy is kind of what I would say about a baby, or a very young child. But yeah, I maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out how old they all are at some point. Okay, so I don't see anything over here that I can do anything with. That doesn't matter. Okay, good. Some of that does. The beer. Good old corn dogs. Okay, what is this? Yeah, yeah, you're right. He goes to school, so he has to at least be... And the other thing about that, right? Sorry, I'm like zooming over here. Is it says right here, will require all students elementary or under, right? So we know that he's in elementary school, probably in, I don't know, at least maybe kindergarten, maybe a year older, right? He's got to be really young in his first year or two of school, or even pre-K. Absolutely. Okay, this receipt. Express ATM on the 18th at 12:04. So that's just after noon. Took out $300. Okay. Ooh, here we go. Voicemails. Are these on the other one?
Hey, honey. I just wanted to remind you to pick up the kids tomorrow because I won't be able to. Anyways, miss you. Safe driving.
So this is Thomas's phone. Okay. I assume that receipt is also Thomas's right here. Bakersfield, California. That's... Okay, do you hear something outside there? Like fireworks? Outside our actual house? Okay, I was like, what the hell? Is this in the game? Like, what the hell is that noise? Okay. Bloody hell. Okay, just 1 second. I gotta go to the bathroom really quick. So I'll be right back. Just a second. All right, I'm back. Okay. Let's continue. All right. So this is Thomas's receipt and phone. Now let's listen to the other mail. This one was done on the 17th. Okay, so before he came back. Let me see what you guys were saying. Okay, no. All right. So this is okay. This is a lot older. This one was the night before. She's calling him. She's calling him right here. Okay, so he's supposed to be back. But that's at night and he still is not home. That's weird. Yeah, that's at almost 11 p.m. He was supposed to be home this day. Yeah, this is an older one. Let's see what this says.
Honey, it's difficult for you. I know, but I am getting tired of this. I need you to tell me what's happening to you. We need to talk. Call me tonight.
So this looks like it's either Catherine's cell phone or the home phone, right? And I don't have a call log on this either. Just voicemails. Driving, so Thomas is being a weirdo. Thomas is doing something. Thomas. Like, it just reminds me of the show me and my wife are watching now. Wait, what the hell is it called again, dear? Anyways, we're watching some reality show about how people fall in love with cons behind bars, and when they get out, they get into a relationship, right? Life after lockup, okay? And how, like, this couple was like, they were great together, everything like that. And like they ended up getting married and have kids. Like, he just can't bring himself to just simply say one thing, like say what's actually bothering him. It could have prevented this whole thing from spiraling out of control that's in the middle of happening of what we're watching. And all I had to do was say something. Just say, it was a simple, like, one sentence thing. That's all he had to say. But he said, instead, he decided to say absolutely nothing. I feel like Thomas is doing the exact same thing, right? Oh, okay. Okay. For the calendar. I feel like Thomas has something similar. Like, something is going on with him, and his poor wife, like, has no idea. He's not saying anything. I don't know what's happening because he doesn't have anything else in here yet, but he's obviously not talking to her either at all. Let's take a look at his wallet. Oh, here is Tomas. Here we go. Endorsements. So these guys live in California, right? Okay, so here's the other thing. Yeah, that $300 Thomas took out, right? On his way back to LA from where he was going. Where was he at? He was in Reno. Yeah, I guess you would come. I don't know. I guess you could drive straight down through Nevada, through Vegas, and then to Bakersfield, and then out to LA. I guess, yeah. You can do that. But yeah, it looks like he's the one that stopped at that ATM, right? To get this receipt here for $300. Because he did that on the 17th. Oh, no, on the morning of the 18th. This time is confusing me a little bit. This makes it seem like, unless that's 12:04 a.m. But wouldn't that? Yeah, I don't know if this is 4 past noon or 12 a.m. to be honest. Yeah, the 18th, and he was supposed to be home on the 17th, right? She left him a voicemail on the 17th at almost 11 p.m. saying to drive safe, but in her calendar it says he was supposed to be home that night. He obviously didn't make it home on the 17th at all. He didn't make it home. Oh, yeah, he went through Vegas. Okay. Cash out voucher, 37 cents. What the shit? You're bad, man. Really bad. This was on the 6th as well. 9/6. Yeah, gambling. Yeah. Somebody said gambling early on, and I'm like, ah, yeah, it was. Hillside Bank. I don't know what significance that has yet. Paid fuel, good for fuel only. For September. Maybe this is from work if he's actually taking trips. Maybe. Oh, who is this? Do you think this is Catherine? Or maybe who he's seeing on the side? I don't know. There's nothing on the back except where it was printed. Ooh. Okay, wait. This said Dexter on the back, right? That's a paper manufacturer. What the hell is this? Dexter in LA. Cashier was a Jimmy at 8:22 a.m. 30 film photo prints. Oh. Okay, so this is a picture he had developed, right? Yeah, he had this developed. What? That's the teacher. Meet at coffee shop near house, 9/13, 3 p.m. I want to look at this real quick. The day before he left for Reno, he met with the teacher. This teacher. No, that's not. Wait, no. Yeah, that's not the teacher. Who is this? This is who he met with. Who is that? Who is Ms. Wilson? Ms. means she's not married either. And his wife knows she's calling. She's calling about maybe Ms. Wilson is that one phone call that keeps happening. That keeps calling, and the one that left the threatening message. Maybe that is Miss Wilson because he told her something here that she did not like. But the wife knows she's calling too. Keeps calling, call her back. So maybe it's not his side piece, but something else. Meet at coffee shop. On the day she goes grocery shopping, he's meeting Hannah. So it's Hannah Olson. She keeps calling the house too. Anything else in here? I don't think so. I got that. Yeah, damn fireworks are annoying. They're loud in the background. He's not very good at gambling. I'll say that. And he took this. I don't know. It's kind of a weird. I don't know. Took it on the 7th. Huh. Okay. Is there anything else in here for the 7th? No, that was the 9th. Okay. But that's also, isn't that her angry? See, this is the other weird thing, right? She's really mad at him on the 9th, right? But this doesn't sound like she's nearly as exasperated by him at this point. 8 days later? Or am I looking too much into that? Like, she's at the end of her rope with his ass right here at 5:17 a.m., right? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What date was that? 9/9. Oh, okay. 9/9/5/17. That's his number right there, okay? 7318. Sidetrack scared is basically 8 in my head. Yeah. Oh yeah. Our Afghan hound, she'd bite your fingers if you had food in it and she thought she could eat it. Absolutely. And yeah, if he's stealing food, that means he's feeling better too. Okay, so Thomas's cell number is this one right here, the 7318. I'm going to make a note of that real quick. 7318. I'm considering that his cell number because she called on this exact morning right around this time, and she ended up having to leave a message. Okay. Okay. Actually, what caused me to even like think about that? I can't remember. I wasn't looking at anything on there. Oh wait, there's something else. Elementary school events. Okay. No arrows. K to 5th. Okay. School uniforms. Okay. I don't see anything earth-shattering right there, personally. Can I get into any of these? No. Right? No. And then nothing there either. Okay. So we might be done here in the kitchen as well. All right, so where do we need to know everyone was? Catherine. Okay, we need to know where she was on, and where everyone was on September 6th. Okay. At 2 p.m. The 6th at 2 p.m. Of course, the call log doesn't go back that far. She should have been... Thomas takes care of kids until Gina takes over from 3 to 8. Is that only applied to that day or every day? I think that applies to that day only, right? I think so. So at 2 p.m., she should have been at the Wilsons, actually. Thomas comes back. Okay. Where did he go? Comes back on that day. Okay. Okay, here's the kid's room. Okay. And here's his backpack, not taken. See if there's anything down at a child's level I'm gonna see. Slithering on the ground like a snake here. Okay. Nope, can't open that. Not open that. Or that or that. Can't look at that. And the picture. I want to make sure what I can and can't look at first. Okay, so Nicholas is the one drawing on the walls. I think we can decide that's probably him right there, right? Because this is his bed, because I don't think he's sleeping there. He could, but you know, Triceratops, dinosaurs, I think that's him. Okay, so let's actually look at the first thing we can look at right here. Okay, hold on. They're both really young. In fact, they might even be twins. No, she's a little bit older. But he's still, what, 5, 6? Do you think that's... Okay, look at that. Look at that person in that picture. It kind of looks like the picture in his wallet. Right? Either that or that's his type. What do you think? It's close, right? So if this isn't his wife, it's definitely of his wife, right? His good luck charm. She's ready to leave his ass. I don't know how much of a good luck charm it is, though. Yeah, because that kind of looks like that could be her, and that's them, okay? Because, yeah, Nicholas looks a little bit younger than the daughter. Okay, what is this? Hazel. It's the daughter. Mommy will be very busy and won't be able to cook for you and Nicholas. Whenever Thomas is home, he will prepare all the meals. Otherwise, on the days that he is not home, I will leave $12 on the dining table in the morning. Give yourself 6 and your brother the other 6. You must use this for food and only food. Love, Mom. There's no arrows. Okay. Uh-oh. Hazel's diary. 8:30. Okay. Does it? Oh, it skips. It doesn't give the 7th, does it? All right. Could be, but she also has... You're right. She has straight hair in the one in the wallet, and in that family picture, she has more wavy or curly hair. Same coloring, but you're right. Yeah. 8:30. Today, Carla and Jasmine showed me their Princess Eliana dolls. During recess, I couldn't play with them because I only have the Dearly doll. I want to play with them. Today, on the way back, Gina let us go to the toy shop. I like my Dearly doll, but Princess Eliana or Elania, I don't know how the hell to say that. Eliana was really pretty. 6 plus 6 equals 12. 12 plus 12 equals 20. What? Girl, are you saying she's not eating and saving her money to buy stuff? I've done that at certain points in my life. Eliana. Okay, Eliana. She is saving money. $5 days worth of her food money she saved for something. 9-3. Today was PE and we played soccer. Jasmine and I were Team Red. I think Carla wanted to be Team Red too. Jasmine is really good at soccer. Walking back made me so tired. Also, we are running out of bread. I save my money to buy stuff too on certain things. Okay, so this could be during the time when, if we look at the calendar, when she might not have been able to like make it to buy groceries, the mom. 9-8. Today, my teacher had me meet someone during lunch. Her name was Hannah. Hannah Olson. You know who the hell that is? It's the lady that keeps calling the house. The one that dad had a meeting with as well. Oh, this is probably that wellness check that Letter was talking about, right? That the district was, okay. This is making more sense now, okay? That Hannah lady isn't someone that Thomas is cheating on with. He still may be cheating, but I don't think he's cheating on with that, right? With her. I think she's that district representative that was checking on the welfare of the kids. And that's why in here we're finding out that she met with the daughter. Is right here. And that's why they keep calling the house to check up on him. And she hasn't called back. Well, they haven't called her back. We talked about Mommy. I think she is Mommy's friend. I'm glad Mommy has someone who cares about her. It's sad that she doesn't think Thomas cares about Mommy. That's really sad. It says a lot about their relationship, I think. It was finally Mommy's day off today, but I couldn't show Mommy my drawings. When she was sleeping, she was talking. When she wasn't sleeping, she was talking to Thomas on the phone. She seemed mad at him. Okay, on the 10th. Mommy is always working now, so I only see her on her day off. So the 10th. She was mad at him on the 10th. 9-14. Last night I woke up because I heard something. Mommy was crying. She was saying that she was sorry. Thomas was hugging her. Why does Mommy need to be sorry? 9-17, the day before everything happened. Kids are like sponges. I saved my lunch money and gave it to my mom to take a day off work. That's too cute. Oh my gosh. Yes. And that's what kids, and that's, yeah, that is exactly what a kid would do, right? Is say, well, you know, Mommy has to work a lot because she has to give money or she has to provide money. Maybe if I give her back some money, maybe she can like not work a day and spend time with me. Yeah. That is exactly what kids would do. And kids see everything too and hear everything. Today, we only had oatmeal for breakfast. I miss when we walked to the store to buy muffins. Nicholas would give me half of his and I would give him half of mine so we can eat two flavors. This kind of sounds like what's going on here. I'm wondering what Thomas is doing. So she was really mad at... So on the 8th is when what I think the... What child welfare, basically from the school district, was talking with her at school. Of course you did, Paige. Of course you did. You did it just to stick it to your mom because she dared to ground you and not allow you to talk to your boyfriend. So you said, I'm going to show Mom. I'm going to find a way to talk to him anyways. Yeah, no, I did similar things to circumvent my parents' will of what they wanted me to do or didn't. Okay, so they're mad. She's mad at him on the 10th, right? On the 14th, she's apologizing, crying. Thomas is actually home, which I'm kind of surprised about. Was he actually home? I wonder when all this went down, because he was supposed to leave that day. And it was the 10th when she was yelling at him. What was he doing? Wait, where was he supposed to be on the 10th? He was supposed to be coming back the next day. He was in Albuquerque. Okay. Nope. That's the 6th. That doesn't count. That's the 7th. Is anything in here on those days? 17th, the day before, and this was the 9th. She was calling him. Yeah, she was mad at him on the 10th, right? On her day off. So the night before. Yes, the night before. Yeah, okay, on the 10th, yes. Seemed mad at him. Okay. Okay. Ah. Okay. That makes more sense. Okay, so right there, she's mad at him. And Miss Olson has to be what this letter is referring to, right? The 10th. We will require supervision regarding a couple of students, their children. Has already met with both students. Okay, so by the 10th, they had already met with both. You know what? You might be right. Or it's at least not 8:30, because here's a 4-day gap here too. 3-day gap. 2-day gap. Yeah, like right here. It looks like there's a page ripped out, doesn't it? But I think they didn't even bother to change. Yeah, they didn't even change the texture for any of them. So there could be pages missing on every one of them. Or they could have just been really lazy. Okay, and then this is, oh, that's inaccessible. Okay. I think that's everything in here in the kids' room too. That's inaccessible. What the hell are the bathrooms? Is that what this is? Gotta be. What the hell kind of bedroom is this without a damn closet? Holy crap. Sorry. Okay. Ooh. Required payments until payday. Gas bill, Thomas's car, landline, water bill, cell service, Gina. 30. How do I pay her? Borrow money. Ask for her to wait. Pay from savings. Okay. Okay, that makes it easier. Borrow, ask, pay for savings. Okay. Art class. Drawing and painting for kids ages 6 to 12. Huh. Be $35 per lesson. for both of her kids what she wanted to do. What? Police department? On September 6th, 2:05 p.m. I was dispatched to is that, wait a minute. Is that their house? No, their house is 535. Okay. Was soon met by Jeffrey Massey, who stated that he had finished shopping and was on his way to his car when a boy, Nicholas Wood, ran up to him. The boy asked Jeffrey to help his sister. That was when Jeffrey saw Hazel Woods unconscious on the ground of the parking lot and called 911. What? An employee at Terry's Toy Box. This is when Gloria took them to buy the toys, right? Because remember she said she wanted that doll, right? And that that Gloria took them there. An employee at Terry's Toy Box witnessed Hazel walk out of the store with her brother Nicholas a few minutes prior to the call. Hazel was then taken to the nearest hospital immediately. This is when she collapsed. And that's what the hospital bill is. Okay? That they are talking about. Oh boy. Oh, that's got, oh my gosh, all sorts of stuff. Congratulations on your engagement! Okay. Congratulations. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Congratulations on the engagement, Catherine. I'm thrilled for you. In all honesty, I was quite doubtful that it was going to work out. After all, you guys have only been dating for a year. Okay. Thought it was going to be like dating off and on. I assumed you would go back to Miami a few months after moving here. I'm so excited for 1999 now. I will definitely be there at your wedding. Megan. Megan is also the one who got her the job. She wasn't eating. You're absolutely right. And that could also be why they gave her an IV treatment too, is she was not eating. She was saving up money to buy that damn doll. Okay. So Megan is also the one who got her the job at the Wilsons to take care of that old couple. Okay. So that's one of her friends. Let's see this. Stop by the gas station, get new fuel cards for September. You saw one of those in Thomas's wallet. $80 each for 2 cards. Withdraw money from bank. Okay. I have a family and bills too. Okay, this is what she put on her calendar when talking about Gloria. To treat someone who helped raise your children this way, I see that you have lost your integrity. Ooh, that is scathing. Nicholas was worse today. Tantrums are as always, but he started throwing toys again. You need to talk to him. He needs more discipline. Indeed he does. All right, let's see what this is. Ooh, what is this? Oh, this is a star chart. Okay, constellations. I wonder what the significance of this is. September budget, 800. Thomas's food, groceries, kids' food when Thomas isn't home, my food when I don't have time to pack meals. Okay. Back to when they actually used checks. Catherine Patent. Okay, that's paid to her. Child support. Okay, here we go, right? Ex-husband, Josh Woods. Or at least ex-father of the children. I feel like Thomas wrote those notes about Nicholas and about treating someone that helped raise your kids that way. You think so? Because this is very similar wordage to right here, where maybe that wasn't it. Maybe it was just a family thing. It could be. You're right. Actually, I was assuming it was Gina, but it was a family gathering, not that. Okay. Maybe he did. I have a family and bills too. Yeah, but what bills does Thomas have if he's living with her? Yeah, these are written to Catherine. I just assumed they were maybe Gloria because she hadn't been able to pay her, but wait, or did I miss that? I saw the family thing, but no, I don't see it. I thought I did, but no. Okay. Because, like, he doesn't have bills to pay. He's living here mooching off of her. Whatever in the hell he's doing, like, she's putting all the money aside to feed him and everything like that. So I don't think this one is, but maybe this one. This one definitely could have been. I thought they were from Gina originally, yeah. But maybe not. Because Gina spends the most time with him, because Thomas spends like 2.5 hours with him, and that's all. A little bit before school and a little bit after school, and then Gina takes over from 3 to 8. I don't know what the hell he does from that time to 8 o'clock. On the days he's actually in town, I should say. Yeah, I don't know what he does. So we have the card about the engagement, these notes. That's the hospital bill. That's the flyer. That's the money. And then the check. This is from her kid's dad. Whether they were ever married or not, don't know. Doesn't really matter. But she's getting child support from him. So Josh Woods is at least one of the kids' father, if not both. Because he's paying child support. Cash on next day off. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, and this is how much she made for that 1 week working for the Wilsons. Okay. Okay. Rick Wilson. Okay. So that's what she was going to use to cash. Let's see what this is. Study of astronomy. What is the significance of this? 5th edition. I can't open it. And here's a sign map too. Strange. Maybe she bought these or these are gifts for Thomas. Maybe he likes to look at the stars or something. I don't know. Somebody's got a telescope right there. Nope. Not gonna weigh me. Red Ryder BB gun. Yeah, BB gun. Ooh, what's this? Truckers United Health Insurance. Catherine, Hazel, and Nicholas. Section A coverage. Eligibility criteria. Only a person who says benefits under this policy. It started then, and it ended then. It ended a year before this. Quick and simple spaghetti. 9-5 breakfast, scrambled eggs and sausage. Lunch. There is a mac and cheese box in the cabinet next to the fridge. Follow the directions. Okay. And there's a lot to go over in just this one room compared to the other rooms. I think that I will come back to that in just a second. Is that? Oh, okay. Okay, let's see this. Count summary. Thomas. Okay. Previous balance. payments, purchases, total, new balance. Okay, there's a lot of money going into his account. What the hell? Does it say when? Okay, payment due. Oh, no. This is him taking, oh my gosh, look at all the money he's taking out every single month. Are you kidding me? You paid $1,100. With how little money they make, this is insane. He had that balance and then he bought another almost $4,700 worth of stuff. Holy shit. That's crazy. Statement period. 8 to 9. Oh my gosh. The day before. Ooh-wee. Dude, I would be wigging out. Quick stop. 8:30 to 9:04. 6-day trip. Okay. Order list. His back gate. What does he do for work? I don't understand what he does for work. Doesn't really make any sense to me what he does. Okay, let's see this. ATM on 9/6, $500. Las Vegas again. Oh my gosh. This guy is a degenerate. Degenerate gambler, man. I tell you what. Okay. So where are we supposed to know when people work? The 6th. Okay. Nope, that doesn't help. Okay. Here's something interesting. We know that Thomas was in Vegas, right? Yeah, I know. I don't think we're going to come to the conclusion of this one tonight. Still too many pieces to put together. Like, I think we've seen most things. We can go back over and double check, but we need to figure out, just track down and figure these things out. Where everybody was. Would the insurance cover the hospital bill? I don't know. And who picked up the kids? I don't have a clue about that either. I think I know where Thomas was. I think he was in Vegas on this date, to be honest. Because that receipt right there put him there on the 6th of September, shortly after 2 p.m. So he's terrible. I don't think he's cheating on her. I just think he's a degenerate gambler at this point. Like, he spent $4,000 in 2 weeks. Racked up on his credit card. I don't even know what to say about that. Yeah, let's see where she was on the 6th. She should have been at work right here. But see, Thomas takes care of the kids until Gina comes. Thomas isn't even here. Thomas isn't even here on that day. He's in Vegas. And she's at work. And maybe, nope, not that. Where is the in here? No, it's not. Where is that bill for the hospital bill? Where did we see that? Wasn't in there. Where did we see it? Was it in here? Oh yeah, it was. It was right here. That's the 13th, so that's not then either. I don't know where the, well, I guess we could look at where the kids were, or at least one of them. Does she have anything for the 6th? Nope, she doesn't, of course not. That would be too helpful. I don't know where either kid was on the 6th. There's no clues anywhere about where the kids were at this point. Where should I look in the living room? Where do you guys want me to look? Sorry. Oh. That lighting. Blaring. I don't see... It's just this. I don't know how he was coming back and yet he's 2 days late. Oh, okay, the coloring paper. This was on the 10th. Is when this was sent on the 10th. Remember her journal, Hazel's journal, also said that she was talked to by the Olsen lady a day before, or a couple days before this. I think on the 7th, so maybe 3 days before this. But they mailed this out on the 10th. That's kind of weird. The hell is that supposed to be? I can't click. I can't click it anyway, so. Here's that. Oh, wait. Date of service 9/6. Doesn't say when though. Okay, so she stayed overnight. But when did she go? Okay, wait. We might just have that with... Where's that thing? Over here, right? No. Right there. No, that's his thing. Where's that report about... the, what am I trying to say? About when they said that they went, the police report, where is that? Okay, so this was reported then, okay, at 1:58 p.m. on the 6th. Okay, so we know that they were at, okay, both kids were there. Okay, so we do know. I think we know where everyone was supposed to be on that date. These two were at 2839 Garner's Ferry Road, LA. Okay. And then we know that she was working at 1348 Bell Meadow Drive. Right? So we know where all of them are. I don't know who the hell picked up the kids. Did Gloria pick up the kids? Maybe. No, because Gina has a family gathering from noon. She couldn't have picked up the kids. Okay. All right. So who would we actually think? Okay, I think that the angry phone call was from the Olsen lady, right? Because Thomas still wasn't showing up like he was supposed to pick up kids, okay? We know where everybody was. She was at work. He was in Vegas spending an obscene amount of money, losing an obscene amount of money. These two were at the toy store with Gloria. I don't know if the insurance will cover the hospital bill because from the look of the insurance letter in there, insurance had lapsed. And I have no clue who the hell picked up the kids. Because on the 18th, he was in... No, now we're talking about the 18th. He was supposed to be back on the 17th, but didn't we... He still wasn't home. When did his ass finally come home? We did decide that this number right here, yeah, that was when she called and left him that message, right? That's his phone number. Okay. Who else would be available to pick them up? Thomas had to have gotten home, right? Or did nobody pick them up? And that's why she finally called and was like, I'm done with this crap. Nope, no grandparents. All right. So everyone just, if you took any notes, think about it. The one I'm having the most problem with is who picked them up, honestly. Oh, you went to the gas station? So, I'm curious. Okay, yeah. No. We know that he wasn't home yet. Well, how much do we trust this, right? Night, Charlie. Okay, how much do we trust the time on this? This time is throwing me totally off right now. Okay, good. This time is totally throwing me off because I don't know if this is 10:04 p.m. So this is like an hour before the kids are supposed to be out of school and his ass is still in Bakersfield, or if this is 12:04 a.m. Because normally on these types of things, they generally have an AM or PM. If they don't, it's generally an army time, like that would say 24. So if I should take this without the AM PM to be noon, that he was still in Bakersfield, which confirms that he didn't make it home to pick up the kids, right? So, I mean, can we make the guess? Nobody? Like, I don't want to make the guess right now, but like, would that be a viable guess? I don't think that happened, but yeah, who picked up the kids? I don't think anyone picked up the kids. I think that's the problem. I think that's what drove this woman like over the freaking edge right here. She is the one that's been calling nonstop, right? This number, this is this lady, Hannah Olsen. That's who that is. And she is the one who left the nasty message. This is Hannah Olsen.
That's it. Now I will be taking things into my own hands.
This is Hannah Olsen. It's gotta be. Gotta be. She's the one who's calling all the time. All these are missed calls, right? She actually called in and got someone right here on the 13th. Wait a minute. What was the 13th? The 13th is when he was going to go and meet her, remember? Wait, where's the other receipt? Is it in here? Yes. So he had this receipt in his wallet when he took the phone call, right? And he made an appointment to see her at 3 o'clock when he finally talked to her at, where is it? Right here. No, this is after they met. No, they don't, but this person tried the day before that, tried at 10, 10:01, 10:02, missed, then got. He saw someone on the 13th. It could be that she called here and actually got him for a change. Because look at all these in a row where they missed him. That kind of lines up with this. She keeps calling. You need to call her back. That kind of lines up with that. Down here towards the bottom. But you're right. Like, they don't normally like make those. And it could be that she decided to, since they were very uncooperative, he still wasn't making times. Because remember, like, he was not making times, like, to pick them up and drop them off. And she can't. She's at work. I bet you most of the time he's not making it to pick him up. He's just not, right? Thomas. So, and I think that was like maybe a last straw. Like, she talked to him on whatever day that was, the 13th. So 4 days later, well, 5 days later is when this call was made. She met him there. He left town, so he wasn't even there yet. So they probably had some arrangement in between here, promising that he was going to be there to pick them up again on the 18th, and he didn't make it again. Because this is after that. This is after when they should have been picked up at 1:20. So I'm leaning towards that being her, but then again, what do we put for who picked up? Do we put Hannah Olsen as the one that picked him up? Maybe, right? Maybe it's her, because she was probably there verifying that he was there to pick him up. She got sick and tired of waiting for him, and finally, 45 minutes later, he still hadn't shown up, and that's when she called and left a message saying, you know what, I'm done. I'm done giving you chances. Maybe what she was saying was that she was going to report it to the police at that point. You know, that's got to be, right? I think so too. 1348 Belmont Road. I get what's that? LA. That's for her. Belmont Drive. 1348, right? Yep. Okay. Thomas. Oh, you son of a bitch. Where was he? He was actually in Vegas. I think that's in the bedroom. Right? It's the receipt over here. Yes, on 9/6 at 3:09. 4830 Sunrise Road. Okay. 4830 Sunrise Road. Las Vegas, Nevada. These guys were at the toy store, which is 2839 Garner Ferry Road. 3849. Wait, 3829. Is that right? Yeah. 2839. Wow. 2839. There we go. No, of course I can't even remember that. Really? Garner's. Okay. Looking for Ferry, but Garner's Ferry. There we go. Garner's Ferry Road. That 2 was Los Angeles. Boy, they have extra cities in here, don't they? Just to try to trip you up. That was LA, right? Los Angeles, California. Yep. Okay. I think that's where everybody was. I think that's where everybody was at that time. And I don't think the insurance was covered because here's their insurance coverage policy. And it had lapsed the year before. Renewable here, but it doesn't say that they renewed it. It doesn't. Dependents of insured may receive all benefits attributed to the insured. However, they must be legally recognized to receive the full policy coverage. Dependents that are not married to or legal family can only receive general practitioner coverage and shall not receive full benefits. Wait a minute. They are her kids, right? Yeah, she's getting stuff from them. That was Gloria. Gloria took the kids to get toys. We found that out here in her journal. Right. Actually, no, it was back here, right? Today on the way back, Gina let us go to the toy shop. I like my Dearly Dolly doll, but Princess Elena, I think that's right. On the day in question, the 18th, Gina has a family gathering after 12 o'clock noon. So she couldn't have picked the kids up that day. She did on that day, yeah. That day to go to the toy store, but that's not the same day as the 18th where everything went down. So they want to know who picked the kids up on the 18th. It couldn't have been Gina. She was at her family function. I didn't find anything in here about the insurance coverage being renewed. Just said that it was renewable, but I'm guessing they put all this in here for a reason. But I thought they were recognized dependents. The below mentioned eligibility criteria, or is a dependent, of the insured can be covered under this policy for the benefits listed under this policy as per coverage schedule. It says they're entitled to all the same benefits as the policyholder, which is Catherine, because these are her kids. They still have their dad's last name. Well, the police picked them up here because that's why there's a police record, because she fainted. Hazel did, because when they went to the toy store, she fainted outside. And Jeffrey and who is it? Nicholas went running up to some stranger and said, "Can you help my sister?" Because that was the same day, right here, that they went to get the toys, but she had also been purposely saving her money to buy something. Wait a minute. Maybe they weren't buying toys. But I thought the other thing said it was a toy shop, didn't it? Set to meet Jeffrey. Stop. Yeah, Terry's Toy Box. Okay. An employee at Terry's Toy Box witnessed Hazel walk out of the store. Okay, so they were at the Toy Box store again on the 6th. Why? I have no idea. Yeah, this address right here is for Terry's Toy Box. I don't know why they went there on the 30th and then again on the 6th. I'm not sure. But everything went down on the 6th for the hospital bill where she had, where was that? Oh, I think it was no. I can't remember where the hospital bill was. We found it pretty early on, I thought. It was somewhere in here. Anyways, yeah, the hospital bill. Right there. There we go. Was for the 6th right there, and when she stayed overnight. This is for Hazel. I feel like Gina picked them up and left the nasty message because she had a family gathering but couldn't go. That could be it too, right? So maybe she picked them up here on the 18th. Then maybe she brought them home, left them this nasty message here, right? I have a family and bills too. Because she still hadn't been paid. She was supposed to be paid that day, right? Yeah, pay Gina on the 18th. So she still hadn't been paid, as far as we know. And then she had to go pick them up. Because Tom's sorry ass hadn't made it back from his gambling binge that he was having again. Maybe it was Gina. This one concerns me because it doesn't say the policy was renewed, though. What is Gina's last name? Does she have a last name? Gina. No, that doesn't have anything to do with her. This just says Gina, right? Gina. I don't see anything else in here. That was the rude thing. That was her friend. That's her child support. And that's her payment from the Wilsons. Ooh, wait, I didn't see this. Search for Lynn. Take one tablet by mouth per day. Antidepressant, dude, I would be depressed if I were you too, Catherine. Your poor ass is working 15 hours a day, and your husband's a degenerate gambler. Zoloft. Wait a minute. I kept thinking it was 99. It's not, is it? 30th September 98. All this happened in 98. Okay. So according to this, yes. Yes, they would have, because she is a dependent of Catherine. So yeah, I think they would have. That's what I think. This is what I think. But I don't want to submit without Charlie here, so. Really? You're highly allergic to it? My wife's highly allergic to it. When she takes a dose, well, she's not allergic to it technically. It doesn't, she gets one of the side effects and it's very unpleasant. Yeah, I don't want to submit this. So I want to submit it when Charlie is here. But this is actually what I think. And I can't find anything with her last name. Yeah, stiff neck. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to actually, hold on. I'm going to do something. I'm going to take, in case this decides to not actually save. what I'm doing? Okay, good. I took a screenshot of it, so I would have it for tomorrow with the information in it. In case this decides not to save. But that's what I think happened. And, you know, we'll show Charlie, and then if we all think it's good, then I'll go ahead and... Oh, that's just a wall outlet. Go ahead and submit it and get through this first part of the scenario. Because I don't know if the second part or the second scenario is the same place and they give us more clues or more context or somewhere else, or if it's even about the same family. I don't know. Yeah, man, he needs to go. He needs to go. He's bad news. Okay, good. You screenshotted it too. Oh, dude, I took Prozac as a young child, and young as in like 11, 12. It just totally made me into a zombie. Like, I could not take it. Couldn't take it. It did not do good for me at all. Okay, so yeah, let's call it there, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. Enter the information for this, and then get on to the next scenario on this one as well. So let's do that, and yeah, let's call it there. It was really fun. It's good to get back to this again, and like I said, we'll come back to this again tomorrow. And thanks to everyone who stopped by, and hopefully you all come by tomorrow as well. So good night to Charlie, who's gone, Paige, who's still here and is going to go because she has a splitting headache, my wife, and also Will, who stopped by, and anyone else who might have stopped by during the stream. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a great night, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Night.